Dabur is a brand that has been present in every Indian household for 138 years. But did you know that when S.K. Burman started this brand, people called him a fake Vaid, traditional healer? This was because his medicines were so effective that people couldn't believe it. The story of Dabur isn't just one of success, it's also a tale of numerous struggles. How the company was forced to abandon its head office, why 8 family members resigned in a single night, and how Dabur played a masterstroke to defeat Patanjali at its own game. We'll explore all of this in great detail. In today's video, we're going to dive into Dabur's journey. The story begins in 1856 with the birth of S.K. Burman in a modest household. At that time, hardly anyone could have imagined that this child would one day lay the foundation for India's largest Ayurvedic brand. Back then, villages were steeped in tradition. Every small or big illness was treated with herbal remedies. Yes, English allopathic medicines existed, but they were so expensive that only the rich could afford them. For the common man, there were just 3 options: seek treatment from a Vaid, rely on superstition and home remedies, or, if nothing worked, leave the patient in God's hands. During this period, diseases like cholera, malaria, and plague were wreaking havoc, but people had no precise cure. In such times, S.K. Burman thought, why not study Ayurveda deeply and create effective medicines so that even those who can't afford costly allopathic treatments can get proper care? With this vision, he began studying Ayurveda and herbal medicine. But poverty was his biggest enemy. He didn't have money to buy books, so he took up small jobs or borrowed funds. Yet, he never gave up. After completing his studies, he traveled across different parts of Bengal to research Ayurvedic medicines. He roamed villages and forests, collecting herbs and trying to understand their medicinal properties. He even turned a small room in his house into a laboratory. There were no advanced tools or facilities, but his determination was unshakable. S.K. Burman prepared medicines with his own hands and cycled from village to village to deliver them to people. His first medicines were for malaria and digestion-related issues, and they were nothing short of a boon for people, effective and affordable. However, some people were so poor they couldn't even afford these low-cost medicines. In such cases, S.K. Burman treated them for free without any discrimination. While most Ayurvedic medicines of that era took a long time to show results, Burman's remedies were so effective that people started calling him a fake Vaid. They couldn't believe medicines could work so quickly. Some suspected magic or harmful substances, but gradually, trust grew. What started as demand in Kolkata soon spread across the country. To meet this rising demand, S.K. Burman created Dabur, a brand built on effective quality-controlled remedies. This is why Dabur became a trusted name in most parts of India, and the demand for its medicines surged rapidly. Now, the company faced a new challenge: how to fulfill this fast-growing demand. Until then, Dabur was just a small-scale setup. To make a bigger impact, it needed mass production. The solution came with the opening of a manufacturing plant, an important turning point in Ayurvedic history. For the first time, Ayurvedic medicines were produced on a large scale, in a structured way. This not only accelerated Dabur's business expansion, but also laid the foundation for turning Ayurveda into an organized industry in India. Dr. S.K. Burman poured his heart and soul into taking Ayurveda to new heights. Unfortunately, he passed away in 1907, and the company's reins were handed over to his son, C.L. Burman. For C.L. Burman, the challenge was not only to carry forward his father's vision, but also to innovate for the new era. With this goal, he established an R&D center in Kolkata and launched several new medicines in the market. However, the real turning point for Dabur came in 1949 with the launch of Dabur Chyawanprash. Chyawanprash wasn't a new concept. Its story dates back thousands of years. Legend has it that a sage named Maharishi Chyavan, worried about his aging health, created a special blend of herbs that rejuvenated his body, making it young and strong again. This recipe later became known as Chyawanprash. While Ayurveda's roots in India were deep, by the 1800s, this science was slowly fading. To preserve it, Dabur took this age-old formula, packaged it modernly, and branded it effectively. After the launch, Dabur ran a massive marketing campaign to promote Chyawanprash. At that time, people relied on home remedies to prevent colds and coughs. Dabur convinced them that daily consumption of Chyawanprash could keep illnesses at bay. The campaign was so effective that everyone, from school children to office goers and the elderly, started using it. In 1949, Dabur also launched Lal Dant Manjan, red tooth powder, which became a super hit. You've probably seen its iconic ad, "Your teeth are shining like pearls." I use Dabur Lal Dant Manjan. But Dabur Chyawanprash's success didn't last long. By the 1950s, new brands entered the Indian market, and allopathy gained popularity. People began viewing Ayurveda as outdated, causing many small Ayurvedic companies to disappear. Realizing that Ayurveda could vanish if they didn't act, Dabur made a smart move. They started modern research and testing to scientifically prove their product's quality. The company also decided to enter the FMCG market, beyond just medicines, launching Ayurvedic toothpaste, hair oils, and skincare products. But before they could fully execute this vision, something happened that forced Dabur to abandon its Kolkata head office. In the late 1960s, West Bengal faced rising poverty, unemployment, and economic inequality. Poor laborers felt cheated, and their anger turned into a communist movement. When politics entered the mix, strikes began. Kidnappings, extortion, and attacks on businessmen became common. Running a business in this environment became nearly impossible. Business owners grew worried about their and their families' safety, feeling it was no longer viable to operate there. Big companies like the Birla Group and State Bank of India shifted their head offices out of West Bengal. The Tata Group scaled down operations and focused on Western India. Like others, Dabur faced tough times too. The tipping point came when, during a factory visit, C.L. Burman's grandson, G.C. Burman, was surrounded by some employees for hours. Though he wasn't harmed, the Dabur family realized Kolkata was no longer safe for business. So, they shifted their head office to Ghaziabad near Delhi. But this move wasn't easy. Relocating from Kolkata to Ghaziabad meant rebuilding the business from scratch. The biggest challenge was the workforce. Most experienced workers were in Kolkata, and bringing them to Ghaziabad was tough. Training new staff was time-consuming and costly. Plus, the supply and distribution chains had collapsed, slowing the business significantly. At one point, Dabur wondered if the shift was a mistake, but slowly, things fell into place. Ghaziabad's better infrastructure and proximity to Delhi helped. Reaching new markets became easier, and Dabur regained momentum. In 1978, they launched Hajmola, a game changer. Previously, people consumed Hajmola in powder form, which was inconvenient. Dabur turned it into small tablets, making it a household name. Kids and adults alike started eating it like tangy candy. Around the same time, Dabur Amla hair oil was launched, soon becoming India's best-selling hair oil. This success proved Dabur could shine not just in health, but in personal care too. Then came another product that took Dabur to new heights, Dabur Honey. Back then, honey was mostly sold loose in local shops and markets without packaging. Identifying real from fake was tough, as adulteration with jaggery or sugar syrup was common. Dabur spotted this problem and introduced India's first scientifically tested packaged honey, guaranteeing purity. Pure Dabur honey, breakfast mast, energy zest. It was not only pure but hygienically packed, quickly becoming a household staple. In 1994, Dabur took a bold step that transformed it from a family business into a major corporate brand. It entered the stock market, becoming a public limited company. This meant it was no longer just a family affair. People across India could now own a piece of Dabur. Around this time, Dabur launched a product that shook up the Indian beverage market, real juice. Back then, packaged juice wasn't a concept in India. People either made juice at home or drank it fresh from roadside stalls. But hygiene was a big issue. Home juicing was a hassle, and street juice risked dirty water, adulteration, flies, and mosquitoes. Dabur filled this gap by launching Real Juice in 1996. Real Juice was made from real fruit, preservative-free, and offered a clean, hygienic, simple option. It became an instant hit, strengthening Dabur's portfolio. The company was growing steadily, with better marketing and advertising than other Ayurvedic brands. Yet, the Burman family wasn't satisfied with the growth. They felt their excellent products weren't getting the popularity they deserved, and expansion was too slow. To solve this, they hired consulting firm McKinsey in 1998. McKinsey's first question to the management was, "Are you the most qualified to run this business just because your last name is Burman?" This made the family rethink. The fourth generation running Dabur had been born with a silver spoon. They hadn't earned it through hard work. They realized they lacked the skills to lead a successful organization. This realization led to a big decision. Dabur would now be run by professionals and experienced managers. No Burman family member would take a salary from the company, though they could collect dividends and pursue ventures outside Dabur. At the time, 8 family members from the 4th and 5th generations held executive positions and all resigned in a single night. Sunil Dugal, with experience at big international brands, was appointed CEO. With professionals in charge, Dabur revamped its strategies, directly boosting sales and growth. Within 2 years, by 2000, Dabur's annual turnover crossed 1,000 crores for the first time, a historic milestone. It was no longer just a family business, but a corporate giant, exporting to the US, UK, Middle East, and Europe. But this growth phase didn't last long. In 2006, Dabur faced its biggest rival, Patanjali. When Patanjali entered the FMCG market, it posed a serious threat. Baba Ramdev's popular Swadeshi branding and cheap products quickly attracted customers. Patanjali directly challenged Dabur's core products, Chyawanprash, honey, toothpaste, and hair oil, selling them 30 to 40% cheaper. By 2016, Patanjali's turnover hit 10,500 crores, making it India's second largest FMCG brand after ITC, steadily eating into Dabur's market share. Instead of giving up, Dabur fought back with a brilliant strategy, beating Patanjali at its own game. They targeted Patanjali's biggest weakness, quality control. Patanjali's rapid growth had compromised its product quality. Many items failed food safety and Standards Authority of India tests, and media reports highlighted adulteration and faulty testing. Dabur seized this opportunity. While Patanjali was mired in quality controversies, Dabur made trust, purity, and scientific testing its strengths. Patanjali focused on Desi, but Dabur combined trust with science. For example, Dabur marketed its honey as 100% pure and medical grade, outshining Patanjali's. They launched a sugar-free Chyawanprash for diabetics and promoted Dabur Red toothpaste as 100% proven effective, competing with both Patanjali's Dant Kanti and Colgate. Dabur used big celebrities in ads and highlighted its research and testing. Slowly, it strengthened its market grip, slowing Patanjali's growth. Today, Patanjali's market cap is around 64,716 crores, while Dabur's is about 92,284 crores, making it the largest Ayurvedic FMCG brand. Dabur's business now spans over 120 countries. So, which Dabur product do you use at home? Let us know in the comments.